another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. All right, I'm all done sharing. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm going to grab some water. All right. It's been kind of weird for me lately because I've been hitting some other meetings. And some of my friends are asking where I am. So for me, I travel around, guys. It's how I am. I'm a gypsy. I'll never stay in one place for that long. I just won't. Once I see you don't need me anymore, I move on. That's not always the case. I still, I'm gonna miss my home group, but in that case, it isn't really a matter of moving on. It is a matter of I need to be in the areas where I'm working because those people need to see my face often. They need to see me all the time, and they need to be able to have access to me. And so, kind of switch what I'm doing. Good morning, Jackie. It's good to see you. Amy, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Just barely afternoon for you, but it is. So I was just talking about how I've been hitting different meetings because of my work. But I've always kind of moved around. And it's because and please don't this is going to sound egotistical, but it's not. Everybody wants a little piece of Dion. And so I need to make sure that, and I set that up, and that's not about ego. It's just that there's a lot that I do. So a lot of people count on me. So I want them to be able to see me on a regular basis. That's the kind of stuff that we do in the program. Those are the kind of sacrifices that we make in order to help other people. And I don't really feel like it's a sacrifice. I just feel like I'm gaining more friends. But it can be frustrating going into a new meeting because I don't know the personalities yet. I don't know how to speak yet. See, I'm not going to go into a meeting and disrupt it either. That's not my job. Like the new 3:00 meeting I'm going to, there's way too much crosstalk. And they don't notice it yet because they're used to it. It's the way it is, right? I feel like AA should be a little bit more structured. If you want to do a lot like that, back and forth, then go to Celebrate Recovery. They do that, and it's a lot of fun. It can be. It's too confusing for me, all that crosstalk. I can't handle it. I like the structure. Hey, Jerry, good morning. A lot of great people on this morning. Yeah. So let's get to righting the harm. And this was the topic today, but what I've been hearing a lot in meetings lately is I didn't harm anybody. And of course, this is coming from newer people. Actually, there were other people. All right, so we're just going to go ahead into righting the harm. Okay, I'm going to let the program kind of explain it this morning and get us started. So, righting the harm is at the 12 by 12, page 79. And I know it's down here because I brought it down. Got too many books. Oop, 79. 79. Where were you, 79? There's 79. All right. Okay, I'm going to actually start on the bottom of page 78. Because that looks like that's where it's kind of going into what it's talking about. When listing the people we have harmed, most of us hit another solid obstacle. we got a pretty severe shock when we realized that we were preparing to make a face-to-face admission of our wretched conduct to those we had hurt. It had been embarrassing enough when in confidence we admitted these things to God, to ourselves, and to another human being. But the prospect of actually visiting or even writing the people concerned now overwhelmed us, especially when we remembered in what poor favor we stood with most of them. There were cases too where we had damaged others who were still happily unaware of being hurt. Okay? Why, we cry, shouldn't bygones be bygones? Why do you think of why do we have to think of these people at all? These were some of the ways in which fear conspired with pride to hinder our making a list of all people we had harmed. Okay? A couple weeks ago, I had to make amends to a professional peer. Okay, and when I made this amends, she said I didn't even know about that, and I told her it doesn't matter whether you knew or not. I still did it, and I must make an amends for it, even though she had no idea. I could have easily just went on my merry way, but it didn't sit right in my gut. It didn't sit right in my gut. I had to take care of it. Would it have really affected their day if they found out? No. Would it have really done anything? No. It's not the point. That's not the point. It still happened. I still have to take care of it, no matter what the outcome is. Even if it's to my favor, no, I must make that amends. Okay? It's what we call true humility. Some of us, though, tripped over a different kind of snag. We clung to claim that when drinking, we never hurt anybody but ourselves. Our families didn't suffer because we always paid the bills and seldom drank at home. Our business associate, yeah, it's because you were never home, right? Our business associates didn't suffer because we were usually on the job drunk. Yeah, we came in, did our job half-assed. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm glad that I was just in sales because that didn't harm people. Well, yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Our reputation hadn't suffered because we hadn't thought of it, because we were certain few knew of our drinking. Everybody knows. Those who did would sometimes assure us that after all, lively bender was only a good man's fault. What real harm, therefore, had we done? No more, surely, than we could easily mend with a few casual apologies. Ain't gonna happen. Morning, Kathy. Good to see you. At one point in my drinking career, I had decided that I was going to move to California and drink myself to death. I did not tell anybody of this plan. This was between me and Jack. Right? Jack Daniels. Actually, I drank Jim Beam. I was a Beam and Coke guy. All right. And I did that because I thought, no, then I already knew what I was doing was affecting my family. I knew that. And I knew it didn't matter how far I went away. I already knew that. I was informed of that 30 years prior. Well, at that point, 20 years prior. I don't know. Fuck. It happened. Okay. And even when I got out there, I knew that I was affecting other people. But my thought process was, well, at least they won't have to see it. I was going to, but it still wouldn't. And then when Shannon came back into my life, I wanted me dead, but I no longer intentionally went out of my way to kill myself, except with my drinking. Drinking is suicide on the installment plan, is what it is. That's what we call it. Okay. But every move you made, everything you did, I talk about the ripple effect. Okay. What happens? And when you do something bad, it's going to spread out. You undo somebody's day. Let's say you're talking to a single mom and you disrupt her day. She's gonna go home and take it out on her children, most likely, because those are the people that love her. Okay. You can have the same effect in good qualities. See, the whole point in being able to recognize that we had hurt people is so that we can recognize that we can have the same effect on a positive note. That's why it's important that you are aware that what you do affects people. Okay. Right now, my niece is sick. She's sleeping on the couch. This disrupts my day. The bathroom is mine. I went to go. It was used. This disrupts my day. Okay. And it really isn't a big day. Big thing. I'm just trying to give an example of how you can work these things. Okay. Kathy says our decisions can take hostages, both good and bad. When it's good, it's not really taking hostage. So, Ingrid, good to see you. Yeah, she's okay. Thank you, though. I appreciate that, Amy. Good to see you, Ingrid. This attitude, of course, is the end result of purposeful forgetting. It is an attitude which can only be changed by a deep and honest search of our motives and actions. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh, was it you? Okay, then we have another Facebook user. That isn't Kathy. Oh, it's probably Ingrid. No, Ingrid's name is I don't know anymore. Jackie says accountability is huge in sobriety. It is. All right. And I want to give credit to whoever. So, and it's, oh. Okay. This attitude, of course, is the end result. It is an attitude which only can be changed by deep and honest search of our motives and actions. What I wanted to say on that is if you did a fearless and thorough 4-step, fearless and thorough, if you did that, step 8 is going to be a lot easier for you. What? 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 Yeah. You already made your list. You already made your list. You may have to add some people on, okay? Because maybe there wasn't a resentment because they hadn't done anything to you, but you had swiped $50 from their wallet or something, okay? They don't know about it. What are you going to do? You're going to go back and give them the $50 back. You're going to admit what you did. And then you're going to say, I don't do that stuff anymore. And I needed to let you know. I needed to give you that cash back. Hit list. Sorry. I find that very funny. Somebody called it a hit list. It is a hit list, except you're not killing them. You're gonna kill them with love. All right. So, I don't know why I found that so funny, but it is. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this. Though in some cases we cannot make restitution at all, and in some cases action ought to be deferred. We should nevertheless make an accurate and really exhaustive survey of our past as it has affected other people. In many instances, we shall find that though the harm done others has not been great, the emotional harm we have done ourselves has. Guess what? Oh, Jerry, see you. I love you, honey. I'll see you later. Um, Gosh darn it. I'm easily distracted today. My brain can only see one thing at a time right now for some reason. So it's the emotional harm that we've done to ourselves. It isn't even really about the other people. What you are doing is you are healing. You are practicing. What are you practicing for? Step 10. Step 10. right? Because you're going to have to be aware, hey, I hurt somebody. I must make an amends. Now, immediately. You do not wait. Okay. Um, and it's that portion that'll lead real well with this story. You fucking assholes! Hopefully you didn't catch that part. I just yelled at him. I'm still here. So my cats just ran through and knocked my internet clear out. I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of done having animals. I really am. Okay. And I go into why, but yeah. Well, you guys heard what it sounds like when Dion raises his voice. But they're over there now. So what I was talking about is I had a situation in my 8th, 9th step, and it actually involved my biological father, whom I had never met. I had very little information about him, but with the internet, it's not hard it really isn't that hard to find people anymore. I used to be able to find you by your 3-digit, your what's called an NXX code. See, Gen X knows it's little secrets. Sorry, gosh, today's just not going the best. That's okay. This isn't going to be perfect. So I always wondered what he was like, and I always talked a lot of shit about him. Like, if I ever meet him, he owes my mom a lot of money, things like that. But it doesn't matter. I didn't affect his life. But what I had said about him and what I had thought about him had affected mine. So we decided, my sponsor and I decided that writing a letter was best. And that it was just going to be a general letter. We knew, and we decided on a letter because I knew that he was remarried. Okay. And it wasn't for me, even though he left me, it wasn't for me to come along and disrupt his life. Okay. And so I reached out and we talked on the phone a couple of times. And he told me, Dion, I'm on my last days. Please don't have any thoughts of coming out to see me. Go. Sorry, gotta do that. And we had a little bit of a relationship before he died, but he didn't really want one. But it turned out that I had 3 more sisters and a brother. Okay. And in the beginning, they kind of wanted to talk to me. But now, no, I've never met any of them. Okay. I talk with my sister Kathy every now and again. And I'm trying to build relationships with them, but they just don't want one. I've reached out to my brother Mark a couple times because they caught me in the beginning of my sobriety. Okay. Then I had PTSD. We were supposed to meet up together like 6 years ago, and I wasn't able to follow through. So, so you really never know. Let's read the rest of the daily reflection, and then we will wrap up. Have you ever thought that the harm you did a business associate or perhaps a family member was so slight that it really didn't deserve an apology because they probably wouldn't remember it anyway? You'd be surprised what people remember. If that person and the wrong done to him keeps coming to mind time and again, causing an uneasy or perhaps guilty feeling, then I put that person's name at the top of my amends list and become willing to make a sincere apology, knowing I will feel calm and relaxed about that person once this is a very important part of my recovery is accomplished. It doesn't matter what the other person thinks. In this case, you're going to ask your intuition, and it's going to tell you, okay, if you have guilty feelings around it, you owe an amends, okay? So maybe today let's take a look at what we do and how we do things because we know that it affects other people. All right. All right, that's going to be it for the daily reflection. I'm going to figure out a different way to get the internet to my computer so that I don't have to deal with that again. Should have done that weeks ago. All right, guys, I love you. Peace out and have a day. Bye bye.